Maybe if we're lucky though, let me check out a Hellcat. Anyway, we are in a Dodge Ram 2500 Laramie. Laramies are the fully loaded ones. This one has a 6.7 liter Cummins 24 valve single turbo diesel. If you guys are not aware, I mentioned it before in some of my other videos in the past, but I know some people, it was real brief. I used to work for Cummins out in Austin, so I have a really good passion for diesel engines in general. I used to have obviously the two TDIs. When it comes to the control center, it's the same again. We have the same situation, ventilated seats. It works pretty much, all the U-Connects, that's one thing that's nice. If you buy another Dodge and you already have one, all of the U-Connects work pretty much the same. So it's not something that you have to like relearn for another vehicle. And I really like this, the two-tone interior in this one. I'm a big fan of the dark brown. I wish the seats were dark brown, not beige, but I do like the two-tone interior that they did with the newer Rams. I thought it was kind of weird that they went back to a on the column, because my dad has had an older one, and like a few years ago, and it had on the shift. But I think it's the 1500s. Maybe that's what it is. The 25s are on the column, and the other ones are on the center console shift. Like all the Cummins gauge clusters, like from even the older ones from like 2013, 2014 till now, they look pretty much all the same. These new ones, you do have the DEF blue though, the DEF fluid. That is it's urea that gets pumped into the exhaust system to prevent soot and other emissions that diesels are known for. So this one has a Alpine system, just like in.
Don't show us whether or not these so-called.
It's not too bad. Should be the same as like what's in my Scat. Visibility on this one is not as good as a Durango for being a bigger vehicle. We do have the tow mirrors, but you have a bigger blind spot on both sides. Rear view, just like any truck, is pretty good because the window's a lot closer, so you actually can see out your rear view a lot better. Handling, you have a lot more play in the steering wheel before it actually does, like, actually you can feel it actually move the vehicle. Like right here, see the car is barely moving. It is a lot bigger vehicle, it's a lot heavier vehicle. It's higher off the ground as well. You know, these are designed to tow, so when you put a load in the back, it's gonna make the back come down, so they don't want them to be too low. Like I said, these new Cummins, they are pretty much any new diesel from, I believe it's 2014 or 15, come with the DEF blue system already installed. Like I said, that is to counteract the soot that diesels emit, you know, the black smoke, and it also counteracts the NOx emissions. Diesels are known for having a very high NOx because of the heat in the combustion chamber, because there's no spark. So that's something that, you know, EPA has been fighting for years against diesel trucks. I'm a firm believer that diesels are actually cleaner than gasoline cars. They burn cleaner. I used to live in Germany for 12 years, and over there, everything is diesel. And they're a lot stricter on gasoline cars. And if you look at their environment, you know, they're a lot cleaner. They have a lot more vegetation, a lot cleaner system. So, I mean, you can pick and choose what you want, but I kind of agree with the European lingo saying that diesels are probably gonna be the next big thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love my Scat Pack, I love the power, but you can make good power with these, man. These Cummins, man, or these diesels in general, they can make big power with big boost. Trucks are very well built. You know, if you guys look around, you have the older ISB Cummins from the 90s, the 5.9 12 valves. You have the 5.9 24 valves, the first generation 6.7s. They're all still on the road, man. These things will run to, you take care of them, you could easily put 300,000, 400,000, 500,000 miles on these things. The big difference between these Cummins that you get from Dodge, or even the V8 that you get from the new Nissan, the Titan, the big difference is on the bigger ones. Like I used to work on the semi-level ones, ISCs, ISMs, ISLs. All of those have liners inside the block, so you know you can easily rebuild them. You pull the liners out, put new liners, put new pistons, all new seals, maybe a refinished head, and you send it on its way for another 1,000,000 miles. That's going to be on like a really big, you know, over-the-road truck, a semi. On these, they have no liners, so you have to be a lot more careful if you start trying to push a lot of power, doing stuff like that, because if you destroy the block, you're going to need a whole new long block on these. But these things are very well stout engines. I mean, you can put a lot of power. There's guys putting well over 1,000 foot-pounds of torque and 700-800 horsepower on a stock long block on these. You just need a bigger turbo and bigger injectors, pretty much. It's a family car. Since we just did the Durango, this could be a decent little family car, depending. If you benefit from the bed better, obviously, that's why people get trucks in the first place. If you use the bed more often, that'll benefit you. The back seat on these, even though this is not the mega cab, this one is still pretty big back seat compared to other trucks that I've been in. Like, they've come a long way in all the newer trucks to having a lot more space. About 55 miles an hour, so we're gonna go ahead and punch it. You can feel the boost kick in. We're at 70, 80. It's not bad. I mean, you can feel the turbos kick in, or the turbo, not turbos, only one. It's a different kind of power, you know. It's not gonna put you really back in the seat like a gas car is, but you can feel that it actually, you know, it gets the moving since it has so much torque. The biggest difference is if you do that with a trailer on the back, you'll still be pretty much good to go. At about 65 miles an hour, you can really feel the wind hitting it. Like I said, these things are very high off the ground, like most trucks. It is still very smooth though. Handling is very nice. Like, you can literally, this is like a highway monster right here. If you need to haul some shit from California to Florida, this is what you want right here. Just chilling out, cruising.
It'll be real comfortable. No issues with leg rooms, headroom, real spacious.
Yeah, like you guys know, I'm only 5'8", so headroom obviously is not a problem. Leg room obviously is not a problem. You have plenty of space on the armrest. You know how every time you're trying to fight people, so if you're like you and your wife or your buddy traveling, you both can put your hand on the armrest so you don't have to worry about it. I know most guys drive like this, one hand on top, other hand on the armrest, so you don't have to worry about that. I did notice that this armrest and a lot of the, minus the Uconnect screen, all the centers are about the same as my dad's old 2014 that he used to have. The seats are very comfortable. Like I said, they're real plush. They're kind of like low bucket seats. This one does have the ventilated seats as well, which I believe we do have on.
Oh yeah, it's too hot for that.
Yeah, it's hot as hell today here in Tejas.
I guess though, if you're much taller than 6 feet, you might have some issues.
Yeah, Steven here is about 6'1" roughly, and his head is almost touching the top. So if you're a tall person, you know, 6'3", 6'4", or more, there may be potential. I don't know how far down these seats go. Some of them, you know, they kind of sit up higher just because you're in a higher vehicle. So, but that may be a potential issue. This is a Laramie, so it's fully loaded. One thing that I don't like right off the back is we don't have blind spot monitoring. These things would benefit a lot from blind spot monitoring. I don't know if it's a package that this one just doesn't particularly have, possibly, but regardless, I mean, it's a Laramie, it's supposed to be fully loaded. I mean, like, I understand that there's a few there's a few features that you still have to opt in for, but I feel like that should be a standard on a truck this big. You should have blind spot monitoring. That would help out tremendously for anybody driving a vehicle this size. Brakes feel heavy, obviously. It's a very big, heavy vehicle. I think these things are about 8,000–9,000 pounds. We'll look at the full vehicle weight in the door, but these things are heavy, so you can feel that the brakes don't feel as plush or anything. I mean, for somebody that will benefit from the bed, this would be awesome. Me personally, I'd rather have an SUV. I wish to this day that Dodge would release a Eco Diesel Durango or a Jeep Cherokee with the Eco Diesel. Actually, the Cherokee did, but it had a lot of problems. But if they had a Durango with an Eco Diesel or something, I'd be so happy. I'd be ecstatic to have a diesel and an SUV. That's kind of like my dream right there. Overall, guys, I like the truck. It feels comfortable. It's very spacious. Like I said, if you benefit from having the bed, this would be the one for you. But if not, you know, maybe something else. I mean, unless you want a diesel. Diesels are always awesome. This is going to be a long-term vehicle, just FYI. Like, if you're the kind of person that you like to change kind of cars pretty often, this may not be a good, financially, it won't be a good decision. You're going to lose so much. The sticker price on this bad boy is 70 grand almost, 68 and some change. So keep that in mind, guys.